I want you to imagine two versions of yourself. Same person, same brain, same potential. The only difference is one decision, one financial habit that one version of you started at 22 and the other version didn't start until 38. Version 1, at 40, they have $380,000 in invested assets, and their money is working for them every single day. Version 2, at 40, they're starting over. They have maybe $40,000 saved, and they're doing the math on how long they have to work before they can actually afford to stop. Same person, one decision, 16-year difference.
And here's the thing that makes this story genuinely painful. The decision wasn't hard. It wasn't complicated. It didn't require a finance degree or a high salary or any special knowledge. It just required starting. Because the number one money mistake people make in their 20s, the one I see over and over, the one that shows up at 40 is quiet desperation dressed up as being realistic, isn't overspending. It isn't debt. It isn't buying too much house or too nice a car. It's not investing at all. More specifically, it's waiting.
Waiting until you make more money. Waiting until you pay off your loans. Waiting until life settles down. Waiting until you actually understand how it works. Waiting until you feel ready. And I get it. I genuinely do. When you're 24 and making $38,000 a year and your rent eats half of that, and your student loans are sitting there like a bad roommate who never leaves, investing feels like something that people who are doing better than you get to do. It feels like a future you problem.
But here's what nobody tells you when you're 24. Future you is going to show up. And future you is going to look at what you did or didn't do with these specific years, during this specific window, with this specific biological asset you had that nobody talks about. Time. And future you is going to feel it. Today, I want to show you exactly why this window in your 20s is not just important, it is mathematically irreplaceable. And what to do about it, whether you're still in it or you already let some of it go.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Quick thing, this video is for two groups of people. If you're in your 20s right now, this is for you. And I need you to actually hear it, not just watch it and nod and move on. If you're in your 30s or 40s and you feel like you missed the window, this is also for you. Because the second best time to start is still right now. And I'm going to show you why. Let's get into it.
The mistake? Not investing in your 20s. Let me show you something that is going to be uncomfortable to look at. This is the math of waiting. Let's say you invest $300 a month, starting at age 22. You do this consistently. You put it in a broad index fund, earning the historical market average of roughly 10% annually. By the time you're 62, standard retirement age, you have $1.9 million. Now, let's say you wait. Life gets in the way. You don't start until you're 32. Same $300 a month, same 10% average return, same discipline. By 62, you have $678,000.
Same person, same monthly investment, 10-year difference. The cost of waiting 10 years? $1.2 million. Let me say that again. Waiting 10 years to invest the same $300 a month costs you $1.2 million. That number is not a typo. That is compound interest, doing exactly what it does, and doing it to you instead of for you. Now, let's make it even more brutal. If you start at 22 and invest $300 a month until you're 32, 10 years, and then stop completely and never invest another dollar, by 62, you still have $1.1 million. The person who invested for 10 years in their 20s and stopped has more money at retirement than the person who invested from 32 to 62. 30 years of consistent investing versus 10. 10 years beats 30 years. If that doesn't make you feel something, read it again. This is the power of time in the market, and your 20s are when you have the most of it. Why people don't do it. The psychology of waiting. So if the math is this obvious, and it is, this isn't complicated math, why don't people do it? I've thought about this a lot, and I think there are 5 real reasons. Not excuses, real psychological and practical barriers that feel completely legitimate when you're living them. Reason 1, it feels pointless at small amounts. When you're 23 and you have $47 left after all your bills and groceries, putting $25 into a Roth IRA feels absurd. What is $25 going to do?
And this feeling is understandable, but it is also exactly wrong. $25 invested at 23 is worth dramatically more than $25 invested at 43. Not a little more, dramatically more. At 10% annually, $25 invested at 23 becomes about $730 by the time you're 65. The same $25 invested at 43 becomes about $107. Same money, 20-year difference, 7 times the outcome. The amount is almost irrelevant. The timing is everything.
Reason 2, student loans feel like they need to go first. This one is complicated because it depends on your interest rate. If your student loans are at 7% interest and your investments are historically returning 10%, you are mathematically better off investing while making minimum loan payments, not vice versa. The math doesn't care that the loan feels more urgent. The math just does math. Now, if your loans are at a high variable rate above 8 or 9%, that calculation shifts. You should probably aggressively pay those down first. But for most federal student loans, the calculus favors investing alongside, not instead of, loan repayment.
Reason 3, the market feels scary. Every generation has a moment where the market does something terrifying. 2008, 2020, inflation spikes, rate hikes, tech crashes. And every time, people who were about to start investing pull back. They wait for it to stabilize. They wait for a better entry point. Here's what the data shows. Time in the market beats timing the market. Every time, without exception over long enough periods. The person who invested consistently through 2008, through the scariest financial crisis in a generation, came out significantly ahead of the person who waited on the sidelines for things to calm down. The market going down is not a reason to wait. If anything, it's a reason to buy more.
Reason 4, it feels like a future you problem. This is the biggest one. And it's not laziness, it's neuroscience. Research from Stanford shows that when people think about their future selves, the same neural regions activate as when they think about a stranger. Your 40-year-old self is literally a stranger to your 24-year-old brain. So when you're deciding whether to invest $200 this month or spend it on something that feels good right now, your brain is essentially being asked to sacrifice something real and immediate for the benefit of someone it doesn't actually feel connected to. Of course it picks the thing that's real right now. This isn't a character flaw.
It's biology.
But knowing it's biology means you can design around it. The most powerful way to do that? Automation. Make the investment happen before the money ever lands in your checking account. Pay your future self first, not last. When the money never hits your checking account, your brain doesn't register it as a sacrifice. It just adjusts to the new normal. That one behavioral change, automated investing before you see the paycheck, is worth more than any amount of financial discipline.
Reason 5, I don't know how and I don't want to get it wrong. This one is real and underappreciated. The personal finance industry is full of jargon. Asset allocation, expense ratios, rebalancing, tax loss harvesting, Roth versus traditional. When you're 23 and just trying to figure out how to afford both groceries and rent, reading about portfolio construction feels like homework for a class you didn't sign up for. And the fear of doing it wrong keeps people from doing it at all.
Here's the truth that the finance industry doesn't want you to hear, because it makes their jobs seem unnecessary. A 23-year-old putting $100 a month into a single target date index fund is going to outperform most actively managed portfolios over their lifetime. You don't need to understand everything. You need to start with something simple.
Target date retirement fund. Set it, automate it, leave it alone. That's it. That is a complete financial strategy for a 23-year-old that will beat most people who spend years researching the perfect portfolio. What if you already waited? The 30s and 40s reset. Okay, some of you watched all of that and felt the specific kind of discomfort that comes from recognizing a mistake you've already made. You're 34, or 38, or 42, and you didn't start at 22. First, I want to be real with you. You can't get those years back. The math was what it was, and the window you had is smaller than it used to be. I'm not going to tell you that's fine and pretend the compound interest you missed doesn't matter. It does matter. But here's what also matters. The second best time to start is right now. Not next year. Not when your situation improves. Not when the market stabilizes. Right now. Because here's the thing about compound interest that works in your favor, even starting late. The curve is steeper the longer you're in it. If you start at 35 and invest aggressively, not $300 a month, but maybe $800 or $1,000, because presumably you're earning more now than you were at 22, you can still build significant wealth. It won't look like the person who started at 22, but it will look dramatically better than the person who started at 50.
And there are things you can do in your 30s and 40s that you couldn't do at 22. Your income is probably higher. You can invest more per month. You may have equity in a home that can be deployed strategically. You have access to a 401k with an employer match, which is literally free money that many people leave on the table. You can max out your IRA, $7,000 per year now, $8,000 if you're over 50. The window is smaller, but the tools are bigger. The worst thing you can do is use the fact that you already waited as a reason to keep waiting.
The practical steps. What to actually do. All right, enough math and psychology. Let's talk about what to actually do. If you're in your 20s, step 1, open a Roth IRA today. Not this week, today. Fidelity, Vanguard, Schwab, all free to open. Step 2, put literally any amount in it. $20, $50, whatever you can. Step 3, invest it in a target date fund. Something like a 2060 or 2065 target date fund if you're in your early 20s. One fund, done.
Step 4, set up automatic contributions, even $50 a month, even $25 a month. Step 5, if your employer offers a 401k with a match, contribute at least enough to get the full match. That is an instant 50 to 100% return on your money. Nothing else in finance comes close. That's it. 5 steps. A Roth IRA, a target date fund, automatic contributions, and a full 401k match. You don't need to understand anything else right now. You just need to start.
If you're in your 30s or 40s, everything above plus. Get aggressive. If you haven't been investing, you need to compress time by increasing the amount. Look at your budget honestly. What can you free up? Can you cut $200 a month somewhere and redirect it to investments? Can you pick up additional income, even temporarily, and throw all of it at retirement accounts? Are you leaving your employer match on the table? If so, stop right now. That's the first fix.
Are your retirement accounts in something that's actually growing? Or are they sitting in a money market fund, earning almost nothing because you never chose your investments? This is shockingly common. Check your allocation. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is momentum. Get something moving. Let compound interest do its work. Give it time.
So let me land this. The number one money mistake people make in their 20s is not complicated. It's not exotic. It's not something you need a financial advisor to explain. It's waiting. Waiting to start investing. Waiting until things settle down. Waiting until you feel ready. Waiting until you understand it better. And every month you wait costs you more than you realize. Because the cost isn't just what you didn't invest, it's everything that money would have become if you had.
If you're in your 20s, start this week. Start this month. Start with whatever you have. Just start. If you're older and you already let some of that time go, start now. Not instead of grieving the time you lost, but in addition to it. Feel it, acknowledge it, and then do something with today. Because 10 years from now, you're going to look back at this exact moment, and you get to decide whether you're going to look back grateful that you started or whether you're going to look back and feel the same thing again.
That's on you. All right, I want to hear from you. How old are you and where are you at with investing right now? Don't be embarrassed. Most people are further behind than they admit. Drop it in the comments. If this hit different today, thumbs up. Subscribe. This is exactly the kind of honest, uncomfortable content we do every week. See you in the next one. Start today, not tomorrow,